How did this client annoy me? He asked for the price, I sent him the offer, and then he disappeared. You told the client the price and they say, I'll think about it. I'll consult with someone. I don't make the decision. And then you are forced to chase them, follow up, and find out how suitable the offer is. If you are owners wondering whether you will have sales, here's a spoiler. It depends on how and when your managers present the price. Also, it depends on what they do, before and after that. Hello, my name is Seri Hiros, and I am a sales and negotiation coach. In this video, you will learn how and when to present the price to a B2B client and how to prepare them so that the price only increases their desire to buy. You will also hear examples of specific phrases and a real case from my experience. Let's start with how the price can affect the client and why it is important to present it correctly. An important rule is that when you tell the client the price, two things happen to them simultaneously. First, a person feels pain because they are giving you their money, and this is not always associated with comfort. Or the client needs to get approval from the management, which means a lot of effort and spent energy. In other words, you activate a pain point. Secondly, the person thinks, I understand everything, and categorizes you as either cheap, expensive, or average. In other words, you reduce emotional interest when you mention a specific price. An exception might be a tender, where it is mandatory to provide clear prices before the negotiations begin. But we know that relationships and the depth of trust significantly affect how the lead will perceive your prices. It's interesting how to naturally turn a procurement manager or a contact person into your ambassador. Then subscribe to this channel right now and click the bell so you don't miss the upcoming video on this topic. Okay, let's return to our two states. What should we do with them? First, we'll discuss how not to scare the client with the price, and then how to interest them and even leave a bit of intrigue, like at the end of a new series episode. But these are B2B sales, so everything will be more serious. First, how and when do you mention the price to activate not the motivation of pain, but of pleasure? To do this, compare the price to a significantly greater value. Yes, you know this rule, but if you listen to recordings of your sales calls, you won't hear such a comparison, or it won't work. Instead, arguments will be made as to why it will pay off, or why there will be savings. But you know that the client's objection mechanism, which protects them from unnecessary actions and expenses, simply won't believe these arguments. Therefore, your task is to ask questions that will make the client envision a value greater than the price. How do you ask such questions? This is a separate technology about which I will prepare a separate video, but at the end of this video, you will see an example of how to do it. But now you already know where your growth point is and what you are lacking. So make a note of it today. Check the call recordings or go to a meeting with the manager. Yes, this video won't do it for you. If you're tired of hearing, I'll think about it, after you mention the price, then I hope you already understand what you can do right now. Secondly, what to do so that the client doesn't categorize you as cheap, expensive, or just like everyone else. And I didn't think about it. I understood everything. We need to make a few variations of your proposal. Before naming the price, you can also identify the rider, or in other words, the criteria for the purchase conditions, that is, under what circumstances the client will agree to work specifically with you. If you get such an agreement, let them put you on the shelf labeled, I will buy from them under these conditions, and this suits me. Regarding variations, you can also use ranges of numbers that depend on the specifics of the business. Let's consider one of my cases. For example, one company from Poland, which is a subscriber of this channel, is engaged in solar power plants. We ensured that managers not only talked to clients about energy savings, but also calculated specific savings figures for 1, 2, 3, and 4 years using a calculator. It is important that it was the client who did the calculations, not the manager, while the manager explained how to calculate and asked guiding questions. In other words, the criteria for the quality of a call and negotiations are when you listen to the call recording and hear the client mention the figure they have calculated, rather than you calculating it for the client. Similarly, in marketing and consulting agencies, we ensure that clients calculate their own profit if the consultant's technology is implemented in their business. When it is not us or our salesperson doing the calculations, but the client themselves, they believe in it. And this is a very important point, because when I listen to call recordings or accompany managers to live meetings, I hear how managers argue, insist, and calculate the client's benefits on their own. Okay, enough theory. Let's move on to specific phrases. Take a notebook to write everything down, and I'll wait in the meantime. So, are you ready to take notes? So the client asks what the price is, and you respond to them. The price from the garden is approximately thousands of dollars, depending on how quickly you want to make the investment. Before we calculate precisely, please tell me. And here you ask a question that reveals the need to better understand the client. I will explain what exactly this phrase consists of so that you can adapt it to your business right now and increase conversion. Firstly, the phrase includes a range from and to, but there is no specific price or pause for the client to say it's expensive or I'll think about it. For example, the range might sound like from $20 to $30, or it costs $50, $100, $150, or it costs $50, $100, $150. Secondly, the provided example indicates the benefit, how quickly you want to recoup your investment. This way, you focus on the return on investment, not on the price. And thirdly, the focus is shifted to identifying the client's needs. Of course, your business has its own specifics and requires additional phrases and algorithms to present the price and further increase interest in all possible scenarios. And here I have a gift for you, because I want to earn your trust and likes. If you send me a personal message with the word test after this video, I will create a free test conversation script for you, tailored to your product and even the most challenging clients. You can find my Telegram and Instagram in the description below the video.